Hello, all, and welcome to this afternoon's beer comparison review, which I am dubbing the extremely painful rash continues to expand on my side. I really should go to the doctor, but instead I am doing one thing I probably shouldn't be doing, which is drinking alcohol. But that's okay, because what we're reviewing today are fairly light beers. And, I figured since two locally made session IPAs came out, what better thing to do than do a comparison review? Yeah. So we're going to be comparing Pacific Light Session IPA from Maui Brewing, that's 4.2 ABV, and Makai Shaka Session IPA, that's 4.5 ABV. And yeah, both of these beers, pretty interesting for various reasons. Interesting in good and bad ways. And I think it's going to be a really good comparison and contrast. Because they're both ostensibly from the same style, but they could not be further apart. And so, without much further ado, let's just get straight to it. Pouring out the Maui Brewing one first. Now the Makai. I just realized I don't have my palate cleansing water. We'll go and get that. So I poured these roughly at the same ratio here. But yeah, big difference. Other than a slight chill haze, the Maui Brewing one is clear. This one is very hazy. Bigger head on the Maui one. About the same color. Maui one is just booming in the nose with citrus, tropical fruit flavors, passion fruit, some dank. Makai, I literally just dipped my nose in it. I was trying so hard. So this one's really closed up, really muted. This one I did not let warm as much as I did for the original review. I'm just going to go and fill this up with water really quickly. So yeah, very closed up, very, what is like some malts and just a barest hint of citrus. Whereas this one, yeah, still can get that big notes in the bouquet there. Okay, onto the palate now, shall we? Refreshing, not too much of a bite towards the carbonation wise, but great bitterness up front. Get some of those tropical fruit notes in the top note, as well as crackery malts. And subsides down to a mostly clean finish. Just some residual bitterness on the palate. Okay, onto the Makai Shaka session. what bitterness there is, what hop bitterness there is, mostly shows up in the mids. Still extremely closed up. In fact, the top note is more of the malts than of the hopping. You know, if you gave this to me and told me to identify what kind of beer style it was, I would not be able to identify it as a session IPA. Like I said in the previous review, as it warms up, the bitterness kind of broadens and becomes more apparent, but there's not much dimensionality to it beyond the bitterness. You know, there's just a slight citrus note to it. Whereas this big and boomy in the, you know, Pacific Lite. And just a hair more refreshing too for some reason. But that's probably very subjective. Yeah. Guess as it warms up, some lemony notes are starting to emerge a little bit in the finish of the Shaka session. But again, very mild, very subtle, very closed up. Yeah, it's like night and day. I mean, you would have no, even like somebody who has never done like a blind before could do this one blind. That is how stark the difference is. And ostensibly, again, they're the same style. Ooh, really starting to itch, but I can't scratch because if I scratch, it feels like literal matches or cigarettes are being put out against my skin. I kid you not, it burns that much. I mean, just having clothes against it hurts right now. Yeah. So between the two, obviously, I prefer this one. This one, you know, it almost doesn't even seem like an IPA style. I mean, you expect hops to be out there at the forefront, you know, big in the nose, big on the palate, not almost like, you know, playing evens with the malting. Again, your mileage may vary, as with all things. See, I didn't even start. I stopped drinking the water because it was like it's just so different that there's not really chances of like cross contamination going on there. So both of these are available now, and if you go to Foodland, you can probably get both of them at the same place, because Foodland kind of, you know, is the one that sponsored the Makai, you know, collaboration with Honolulu Beerworks, and they also are very well stocked with the Maui Brewing beers. being a local grocery store chain, supermarket chain, they do tend to support local products more than mainland chains do. There are other local chains, but Times is really more focused on basically fresh produce and meats and seafood as opposed to like produced things locally. Okay, folks, that was your comparison review for this Friday afternoon. Yeah, gonna finish these up, probably make dinner. Not gonna drink too much more, maybe probably just finish the last can of this one here. Because I ain't feeling too great, obviously. Should really go to the doctor, but I already went to the doctor and I probably got misdiagnosed for like back pain, and it's more likely something completely else with this rash that's forming on all the places that I had intense back pain. Yeah. Anyways, that's your review for today, folks. Hopefully I'm still around in a few days, huh? Cheers.